Chosen one. The harshest trial has passed. And the most precious truth is not that you escaped pain, but that you preserved your integrity when every pressure tried to turn you into someone else. I want you to pause and recognize this calmly, because you have crossed a threshold that even you once doubted you had the strength to overcome. What happened was not meant to destroy you, nor was it a punishment placed upon you to make you bow your head in despair. It came to reveal your depth, to show what you would choose when no one was cheering for you, when your explanations were not heard, and when you had to face injustice without knowing when everything would finally become clear. In that very circumstance, you did not allow pain to turn you bitter, disappointment to steal your compassion, or temporary relief to persuade you to abandon the values you hold most precious. I saw the moments when you could have answered with sharp words, but chose silence so that you would not create another wound. I saw how often you wanted to hold on to a relationship, an opportunity, or something that had once carried deep meaning, yet finally found the courage to release it when you realized it was eroding your peace. Those choices were not easy. There were nights when you wrestled with your own thoughts, wondering whether you were doing what was right or simply allowing yourself to be treated unfairly. There were moments when you watched others continue their lives as though nothing had happened after causing you pain, while you were left slowly gathering the broken pieces and rebuilding yourself. Yet you did not allow delayed justice to make you cruel. You chose to leave without destroying, to remain silent without nurturing hatred, and to heal instead of spending your entire life proving who was right and who was wrong. For this reason, that trial has fulfilled its purpose. It did more than show you how much you could endure. It helped you recognize what no longer belongs on the road ahead. Some doors closed because they could not lead you where you need to go. Some people left because they were able to accompany you only for a short distance and could not walk with you into a new season of maturity. Some things you once considered losses were actually releases from bonds that continually forced you to make yourself smaller. I know it hurt to watch familiar things fall apart. But if the old had continued occupying every space, the new would have had nowhere to take root. Therefore, do not return and gather what has already been removed from your path merely because loneliness causes you to miss what once felt familiar. The silent days you endured were not proof that you had been forgotten. I used that quietness to teach you how to stand without constantly needing others to confirm that you have value. In the past, one cold remark could cause you to question yourself. One unfriendly glance could silence your voice. And one rejection could make you believe that all your efforts were meaningless. But after everything you have endured, you are learning that the truth about you does not change simply because someone fails to see it. You do not need to run to every door and beg to be recognized. Nor must you explain your heart to people who have already chosen to misunderstand you. Maturity has placed a new stillness within you, helping you distinguish what must be protected, what must be released, and which battles are no longer worthy of your strength. I want you to understand that the patience you demonstrated was not weakness. Sometimes silence requires more strength than resistance, and walking away requires more courage than remaining. You once had every reason to become angry, but you refused to allow anger to control your decisions. You had opportunities to make others taste the pain you endured. Yet, you did not choose that path. This does not mean you denied the hurt or allowed others to continue crossing your boundaries. On the contrary, you learned how to protect yourself without losing your kindness. You learn to say no without humiliating anyone, to close a door without burning everything behind it, and to move forward without carrying the burden of revenge. The strength formed through that experience will follow you into the days ahead. You will no longer panic so easily when circumstances change, because you know you have already survived fiercer storms. You will no longer hand complete authority over your life to passing emotions, because you understand that emotions may be genuine while still being unable to see the whole road. You will no longer cling quickly to anyone merely because you fear being alone, because you have learned that peaceful emptiness is more valuable than a presence that repeatedly causes you to lose yourself. Those lessons were purchased through tears, but they will protect you from repeating many painful cycles in the future. However, do not allow this new strength to become a wall that blocks every good thing. I did not lead you through adversity so that you would distrust everyone. I led you through it so that you would recognize who is worthy of entering the sacred space of your life. Discernment is not the same as coldness, and boundaries do not mean complete isolation. You can still love without abandoning yourself, help without assuming responsibilities that belong to others, and open your heart without surrendering all your peace to someone who has not yet demonstrated sincerity. Allow experience to make you wiser, but do not allow it to make you hard. A heart that still knows how to love after enduring pain carries great strength, but that strength must be guarded through awareness. You are no longer standing where you began. The way you think has changed. Your choices have become deeper, and your understanding of your worth is no longer as easily shaken. The things that once kept you awake will gradually lose their power. The people who once made you believe you were not good enough will no longer determine how you walk. You will begin to experience a freedom that is quiet but deeply stable, freedom from the need to please everyone, from the fear of being left behind, and from the habit of returning to what has repeatedly wounded you. This is the first reward of the trial. Not an outward gift, but peace built within you that no one can easily take away. I, Michael, I am near to remind you that what has passed was not an ending, but the completion of a season of preparation. You have shown that you can carry greater responsibility without losing humility. Endure pressure while preserving purity, and remain faithful to what is right, even when misunderstood. Therefore, when new doors open, you will no longer enter with the posture of someone begging to be chosen, but with the calmness of someone who understands the value they carry. You do not need to rush to prove anything. Let your steadfastness, your way of living, and the results that will soon emerge speak for you. Lift your head, my beloved, and do not mourn what the trial removed from your hands. What truly belongs to you will not require you to betray your peace in order to keep it. What fits the new path will come with clarity, respect, and the ability to build. You walked through the most difficult part without losing your gentleness, and that is a victory no applause could ever measure. From this moment forward, continue with gratitude, but do not return to living like the person who had to beg to be seen. You have crossed that threshold. The new season does not need the frightened version of you. It is waiting for the person who has been refined, who has learned to release, and who now knows how to stand firmly in truth. The shift you are sensing is real, because peace is gradually taking possession of the place where chaos once ruled, while stability is quietly growing in the very place where fear once cast its shadow. You are not imagining it, nor are you trying to comfort yourself with fragile hope. I am showing you that a season of struggle has reached its conclusion by quieting the noise within. Removing from your shoulders the feeling that you must remain constantly guarded, and restoring your ability to breathe deeply without expecting disaster to arrive. In the past, whenever you thought about a problem, heaviness could immediately fall upon you. Your mind would create countless scenarios, and your entire being would tighten under the pressure of an unseen battle. But now, even though outward circumstances may not yet have changed completely, you are beginning to recognize that you no longer respond as you once did. What used to keep you awake no longer has enough power to pull you down. Words that once caused deep pain now pass through without being able to remain. That is the sign of victory. Not that every sound disappears, but that those sounds no longer govern your peace. I have gone ahead of you into places you cannot see, untangled knots beyond the reach of your understanding, and closed paths that would only have led you back to former sorrow. There were doors you desperately wanted to open, but I knew that behind them was not what you truly needed. Because I love you, I prevented some plans from taking shape, allowed certain promises to dissolve, and kept distance between you and things you believed were your only opportunities. At the time, you may have thought you were being rejected, forgotten, or deprived of something that should have belonged to you. Yet, what you called loss was sometimes my hand pulling you away from a road filled with exhaustion. I did not close doors to disappoint you. I closed them so that you would not have to enter again the rooms that once caused your light to grow dim. When a path ends according to my will, you do not need to return and knock upon that door with tears, because a wider road is being prepared ahead in peace. Your victory was never entirely dependent upon your own strength. I know how hard you tried, how patiently you fought, how often you remained silent when you could have answered, and how you rose on days when you had almost no strength left. Yet, my beloved, you are not required to solve everything yourself. Some battles became so heavy only because you believed you had to control every outcome, convince everyone to understand you, and defend yourself against every injustice. I want you to release that responsibility from your hands. Your part is to preserve integrity, walk with discernment, and refuse to let bitterness change who you are. Leave the rest to me. I can reveal what you cannot prove, redirect intentions you know nothing about, and create an escape where you see only a wall. You do not need to win by causing someone else to lose. The victory I give comes when you recover your peace, dignity, and ability to move forward without remaining bound by what they did. There were times when you truly believed you were failing. The prolonged burden caused you to think the result would never change, while silence made you believe your prayers were not being heard. At times you looked around and saw others moving forward while you remained trapped in the same place. You wondered whether you had done something wrong, whether I could still see you, and whether the hope you carried was simply too distant. But during the days when you saw no movement, I was still quietly working. I was rearranging relationships, changing timing, moving obstacles, and preparing you so that you would not become overwhelmed when the answer arrived. The deepest work usually takes place in silence. A seed makes no sound while taking root. Dawn does not announce itself before pushing back the darkness. And what I am building does not require the attention of the crowd before it appears. You saw only delay, but I saw every detail being brought into its proper position. Every pause in your journey has carried a deeper purpose than you understood. Some delays protected you from entering too soon. Some trials revealed what was false so that you would not entrust your future to people who lacked faithfulness. Some seasons of solitude taught you to rediscover the voice within instead of living through the approval of people whose opinions constantly changed. Even the tears you wiped away in secret were never overlooked. I saw every time you tried to remain gentle amid coldness. Every moment you wanted to give up, but chose to take one more step. And every night you did not know what tomorrow would bring, yet still believed that goodness had not ended. None of it was wasted. All of it became the depth, patience, and discernment you carry today. What once caused you pain will no longer remain only a memory. It will become evidence that you can walk through fire and still preserve your light. You are approaching the first part of the answer you have waited for with perseverance. It may not immediately appear in a spectacular form, but you will begin noticing clearer signs. Things that were once blocked will begin opening. Conversations will change direction. Suitable people will appear, and decisions will become clearer. What I have established will first take shape within you and then gradually be revealed through outward circumstances. Therefore, do not despise the new peace appearing within you, because it may be the first sign that the answer has begun. Do not overlook the fact that old things no longer provoke you, because this is evidence that the cords that once held you are being loosened. Before a new door opens completely, I often prepare your feet so that they no longer run backward. Before giving you a new season, I cause the old one to lose its appeal. You will know you are truly free when you can remember without wanting to return and look upon the past without allowing it to define the future. When I declare that a battle has ended, it does not mean you will immediately see every result in a single day. It means that opposition, judgment, and the things that delayed you no longer possess the final authority. What has been established will still need time to appear through steps, encounters, and your own decisions. Imagine a field in which seeds have been planted. The harvest does not appear the moment the seed touches the earth, but life has already begun, and that process can no longer be denied. In the same way, something new is already moving toward you. I do not want you to use yesterday's eyes to judge what is forming today. Silence does not mean nothing is happening, and the fact that you do not yet hold the result in your hands does not mean you remain outside the answer. You are already within the process. Every step taken in obedience to peace is leading you more deeply into what I have prepared. This is also why you feel an inner urging to move forward, even while your mind sometimes repeats former failures. The past will attempt to use a familiar voice to make you doubt yourself. It will remind you of the time you were rejected, the time you chose wrongly, or the time you trusted someone who was unworthy. But memory is not prophecy. What happened before does not have the authority to determine what will happen next, unless you continue giving it that authority. I have removed from the past its power to control you, but you must agree to step out from beneath its shadow. Do not rebuild the walls I am tearing down. Do not reject what is good, because you once encountered what was false. Do not view every new opportunity through the lens of one disappointment. You now possess discernment you did not have before, stronger boundaries, and a deeper ability to recognize peace. You are not entering the future through your former innocence. You are walking through maturity purchased across a long journey. My beloved, receive this victory not through noise, but through a renewed life. Do not try to prove to those who doubted you that I have supported you. Allow your peace, kindness, and stability to speak for themselves. Genuine victory does not make you proud. It makes you gentler, because you understand the depth from which you were lifted. It does not cause you to seek revenge. It frees you from the need to watch someone else suffer consequences. You will move forward more lightly when you understand that justice does not require your manipulation. Let me handle what belongs to me. While you care for what is now being placed into your hands, your peace, your future, healthy relationships, and the new opportunities drawing near. Therefore, from this day forward, do not live as someone still trapped in a battle that has already ended. Stop checking the doors I have closed. Stop seeking signs from people I have removed from your path. Stop replaying conversations in your mind that cannot change the past. Direct your attention forward. A new stage is waiting for you to enter with lighter feet, clearer eyes, and a heart that no longer has to remain constantly defensive. I have gone ahead of you. I am beside you. And I will be present in every step that follows. What you prayed for is no longer merely a distant hope. It is gradually becoming a reality you are being invited to enter. Receive it with gratitude. Preserve it with wisdom. And advance through calm trust. You no longer need to live like someone waiting to discover whether victory will come. You are walking as someone who has already been released from what once bound you and is now learning to live fully in the freedom I prepared. Every step you take toward your new home is bringing you closer to the wholeness I have quietly prepared for a long time. My beloved, do not allow the unfamiliarity of the present to convince you that you are moving in the wrong direction, because new lands rarely feel familiar from the very first moment. I did not lead you out of one place merely to leave you lost in emptiness. Nor did I close old doors without opening a better road before you. What you are experiencing is not meaningless disruption. It is a deliberate arrangement in which every step, decision, and change is directing you toward a more expansive life. You may not yet see everything that is waiting ahead, but I have already seen it all. And that is why I am gently urging you to continue. You once prayed for renewal, longed to escape old cycles, and desired a different beginning. Yet, when the answer to that prayer began appearing, you became confused because it did not look the way you had imagined. Do not blame yourself for this. Growth often enters your life in a form that requires you to leave your comfort zone, and expansion always asks you to release what once felt familiar. A new pair of shoes may feel uncomfortable during the first few days, but that does not mean it is unsuitable for the long journey ahead. In the same way, your new season may make you feel unsteady for a short time, but eventually that very place will become the peaceful space you once desired. The doors closing one after another are not signs of failure. They are only confirming that their role in your journey has been completed. Some places protected you for a season but cannot contain your growth forever. Some relationships once walked closely beside you, yet distance gradually appeared because you and they no longer move at the same rhythm. Do not turn every fading connection into a judgment against yourself. Not every separation is caused by wrongdoing, and not every ending is a punishment. Sometimes I am simply clearing space so that you can meet new people, receive different opportunities, and live in an environment that no longer demands that you make yourself smaller in order to be accepted. Fear will try to convince you that remaining is safer. It will remind you of everything you might lose, every risk that may appear, and every disappointment you previously endured. It wants you to view the future through yesterday's painful memories and then call hesitation wisdom. But you must distinguish carefully. Wisdom brings peace and clarity, while fear paralyzes, confuses, and prevents movement. I am not calling you to act recklessly, but neither do I want you to use caution as an excuse to remain forever in a place that has become barren. When you know a season has ended, holding on to it is no longer faithfulness. It is only delay before the invitation to enter something better. You are not being uprooted and then abandoned. I am moving you into more suitable ground, where the seeds within you can take deeper root, rise with greater strength, and produce results the old environment could not support. Some abilities within you were restrained for too long because you remained among people who did not know how to value them. Some dreams remained asleep because the space around you was large enough only to maintain survival, not to nurture growth. The place I am leading you will not require you to keep fighting to prove you are worthy. There you will learn to live with greater peace. Think more expansively, and use the gifts placed within you with mature confidence. I know you want to see the entire road before taking the first step. You want to know how you will live, whom you will meet, what you will do, and whether everything will truly become as good as promised. Yet, my beloved, not every answer must appear before you obey the guidance you have received. Some things become clear only after you have crossed the threshold. I do not require you to hold the entire map. I ask only that you trust the light shining upon the portion of the road immediately before you. Every great journey is completed through small steps. When you remain faithful to today's step, tomorrow will open at the right time, and you will discover that you were never walking alone. The new place I am leading you toward is not merely a house or a different location upon a map. It carries a different atmosphere, another rhythm of life, and a new foundation for what is about to be built. You will experience a quietness that was difficult to find before. You will have space to think, to heal from old exhaustion, and to rearrange priorities that were hidden beneath disorder. That place may help you sleep more peacefully, breathe more deeply, and see life through eyes that are less strained. The stability you once prayed for will not come only through money or favorable circumstances. It will also come through the feeling that you are finally standing where you need to stand. A gift is still waiting for you ahead, and I want you to know that it was never lost. There is something you prayed for so long that you began to believe your request had been forgotten. There is a desire you buried deeply because you feared that continuing to hope would only cause more pain. But silence does not mean I did not hear, and delay does not mean the answer was denied. It is simply being placed within the right time, circumstance, and space, so that when it appears, you will possess enough maturity to receive it without losing your peace. Some gifts would have been overlooked if they had arrived during the former season, but when they appear in the new one, they will become the foundation of a long journey. When you enter the new place, many things that seemed stuck will begin moving. Opportunities that once stood still may unexpectedly open. Suitable relationships will appear, and ideas that once seemed unclear will become more defined. You will realize that the problem was not always that you had failed to try hard enough. Sometimes you were simply attempting to plant seeds in ground that was no longer suitable. When the environment changes, the life within you will also awaken in a new way. What once required a long time to progress may begin moving quickly. Not because I suddenly remembered you, but because every element has finally been placed correctly. Do not be surprised if you feel both excited and sorrowful. You may know that you need to leave and still grieve the memories you must leave behind. Courage does not require you to become cold. You can appreciate the former place, honor the people who walked with you, and still choose to move forward. Carry the lessons, but do not carry burdens that are no longer necessary. Preserve the love, but release the sense of obligation that prevents you from living a larger life. Something that was once good does not have to last forever in order to prove that it mattered. A season can end peacefully without becoming a story filled with bitterness. Therefore, enter this transition with open eyes and a quiet heart. Do not allow unanswered questions to overpower the deep confirmation within you that it is time to go. I am ahead of you, preparing the place where you are going. Beside you, strengthening every step. And behind you, closing roads you no longer need to revisit. What you are leaving cannot compare with the peace, growth, and fullness waiting ahead. One day you will look back and understand that this move was not a loss but an answer. Not an uprooting, but a replanting. Not an ending, but a doorway into the season when everything begins returning to its rightful place. Continue forward, my beloved, because where I am leading you is not merely a new place to live. It is the space where a more mature, free, and stable version of you is finally allowed to emerge.